Okay, Danny, we're going to take a look at a couple of your swings here. For the purposes of this video, we're not even going to worry about what our swing looked like before. So both of these videos are the end product of our swing. Now keep in mind what we worked on a little bit was widening out our base. And that's why I want you to see in both of these stances right here, our base is a little wider now. And we worked on our bat angle a little bit about keeping the bat head up a little bit more, right in here, having the top of that bat pointing a little bit at a better angle. The main reason for that is that was helping us work our bat head to the zone a little better. Now we're not going to be so much focused on losing our bat angle anymore behind our head, because if we just adjust the way our load is from the get-go, then we can make up that difference on getting too much of a great angle behind our head. Now naturally, if we get too much of an angle behind our head, then that just means that we'll have a much longer swing to the zone and we won't be as efficient as we possibly can be. So with efficiency being the key word right now and having that in mind, we're going to take a look at some of our T-work drill here. And right now we're going to move ourselves to our negative motion and then the toe touch. And this angle right here is a whole lot better. Before, we were seeing that bat head completely disappear behind the head. And while some players can get by with that, ideally for the younger players, we would like to see them get in a habit of creating the best possible area at toe touch, or the best possible attacking position at toe touch that enables our bat head to release efficiently to the zone. And right here, this is about the best area that we can get into. This is your arm angles look great right here. Looks like we got our weight distributed about 50-50, which is where we want to be upon toe touch before our weight starts going forward. And we don't have that bat head too far back behind us, so we're looking pretty good right there. So we're going to go ahead and go forward a couple, and I want you to notice our arms and everything are working well to the zone. And as soon as we heel plant, we're getting good rotation off that backside. And right there, that's great transfer right there. That's great. For anybody else that's looking at this video, this is exactly what we want to see, especially out of the young ones. How we're up on that toe, we're getting plenty of weight going from this way, or from the backside to the front side. That's really, really good. And it's got a good block off right there. That's a good stroke overall. Very good. What we're seeing now is our bat lag, and right here is a great example of exactly where we want to be with our bat lag. The white line right now represents where our bat is, and the blue square represents where our hands are. And basically right here, when we're getting to this point right now, we're on the plane of the pitch, which is very excellent. We got our hands out front, which is exactly where we need them. We need them in front of our center of gravity so we can prepare to really bring that bat through the zone. Ideally, we always want to start slow. You always want to start slow upon toe touch, and then as soon as that heel plants, then everything accelerates through. That's when our acceleration starts. It's nearly as if you want to picture it. Ideally, an easy way to put it is you're in a race car and you're waiting for that green light to come out. You're easing up to the finish, or to the start line, and then as soon as that heel goes down, that's your green light, and then you're ready to accelerate through. As we can see, our hands get to the zone very efficiently. Our hands are right in that box now, and we'll notice that when we're going through, the hands keep moving forward and a little bit up. It's almost like a miniature angle being made right there, which is exactly what we want, because that's the bat head traveling beneath the hands, which is exactly where we want it. We always want elbow above hand, hand above bat. That's exactly what we want. And because we're putting ourselves in that contact position, we're going to create a tremendous amount of force on that ball, and we're going to get to a tremendous extension too. That's really, really good looking swing right there. Now we're looking at our front toss portion, and this swing we're just going to examine why it's so important for us, Danny, to really be as efficient as possible getting to our toe touch and to be in a tremendous attacking position at that point in time. Now what's going to happen is this pitch is approximately belt high, but it's going to underscore that when we put ourselves in the best possible attacking position, that we're going to enable our hands to get to our bat lag portion, or when our bat is basically on the plane of the pitch, as quickly as possible. And the quicker that we get there and the more efficient we are getting there, more likely we're going to stay through that big zone. We're going to stay in there a lot longer. And the longer we stay in there and we hit in a big zone, that's going to give us a much larger margin of error. And that's the idea of hitting, to be perfectly honest with you, is putting ourselves in position to have the largest margin of error. Because if we're swinging down, for example, or we're trying to chop at the ball, or we're pulling our arms too far back, we're twisting our shoulders, we're getting way too much tilt up front, or anything like that, we're suddenly taking our efficiency away. We're not going to be able to get the bat to the zone as best as possible. And therefore, if we're not able to get it there as the best possible way that we can, it's more than likely not going to stay in a long zone. And the shorter zone that we hit in, the smaller the margin of error is, because then we have to make basically exact contact with the ball in one certain area of our swing. Whereas if we hit in a big zone, we can hit in several different areas. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and forward it a little bit. We'll go to hill plant. As we can see, the pitch is on its way now. And we've started our hands already. And at this time, this is where you're recognizing where the pitch is, because you're prepared to release your bat angle wherever we need to release it at. I'm going to forward a couple frames here. And also, too, I'd like to underscore that when a pitch is a little up, a lot of times our bat will get a little flatter. And that's natural. That's what everybody does. And that's a signal that you're recognizing the pitch. The lower the ball comes in, the steeper our bat angle. The higher the ball comes in, the flatter our bat angle. So it's very good. So right here, we're on the plane of the pitch. Now that we're on the plane of the pitch, we naturally, now we have from here to here to make any type of margin of error, which is very, very good. We're going to hit through a large zone right there, and the ball's still out here. So as we can tell, we're going to be a little bit out in front of it, but because our bat is able to stay right there, even though we can't tell where it is, and I do need to adjust those camera shutters, but because we can tell right now approximately where the bat is, we can tell that it's coming through a very, very large zone. And therefore, even though we're out front, we're still in the plane of the pitch, and we're still, even though we're making contact out here, we'll notice the ball is a line drive right towards short. So with all that in mind, I want us just to look at the swing. We can tell we are a little bit out front of it, but our transfer is great. This right here is great. That's tremendous, the way, exactly the way we want to look like. And from this point, I'm going to make a dot right here. We're on the path of the ball right now, right in that area. As we can tell, there's everything coming through. There's the bat head releasing right in there. And we're able to hit through that big zone. And Danny, that's definitely a great job right there, bud. That's exactly what we want to do all day long.